Hello and welcome to this new YouTube video on my channel. I'm getting DMs like these on a daily basis that you see here in the background. So for example, hey, what's up bro, how you doing? Wanted to ask what you do exactly. People DM me network because they see my ads. Hello, can I get more info on what you do? Just wanted to know what's the actual community and its investment so I can arrange that and book a call, right? So on a daily basis, I get people reaching out to me, wanting to know more about what I exactly do, what the whole offering is, all of that stuff, and what I've been working on recently. And I just decided today that I'm going to give you a whole walkthrough of everything that I'm doing currently and everything like that Helix consists of. So you get an exact understanding of what all of this is. I don't have to explain it to 1,000 people. And we can then just jump into straight answering questions, all of this stuff, just me honestly helping you. In this video, there won't be any call to action, nothing, no crazy offering, all of that stuff. Honestly, just want to have this as an asset on my channel so people exactly know what I do and what I'm talking about. So as I mentioned briefly, what I'm currently doing is Helix. This is my new company. This is my new brand. This is my new offer. And before we get into this, the first thing that you should ask yourself really is like, who am I and why should you trust me in case you don't know me already? And therefore I just want you to give this quick insight here. I'm Danilo, I'm 21 years old and I'm mainly living in Germany and Serbia. I ran a marketing agency for 3 years. And after that, I started my own events company for a year and a half, where I've met a variety of many different, very, very successful entrepreneurs. And right now my main focus is Helix, as I mentioned earlier. And within 6 months, this is probably the most important thing here. I went from being a lonely agency owner who didn't know anyone, right? I didn't know a single soul in this whole online space, not online nor in person, to hosting multi 7 to 8 figure entrepreneurs at my second event ever. So I literally went from knowing no one to knowing the craziest people in the space in literally no time. And I hosted over 60 people across 8 events in 1 year. And I can most probably help you solve any problem you have just because of the countless connections I have to experts in many different fields who can then solve your problem if I can't do it. And most importantly, this is honestly the most important one, I have a powerful network of friends, very important friends, which makes it impossible for me to fail because they support me with everything that I do. If you scroll down here, I just wanted to include a few like WhatsApp chats, testimonials, whatever with friends, just so you know what I do is no cap, because many people in this whole online space are capping a lot, and therefore I just wanted to include this here. So we have here someone messaging me, bro, you changed my life. I've gone through everything and it's a blast. Very well done, short and packed with value. Never seen anything like it. Bro, you've become a cheat code. If I want to help someone, I just connect them to you. By the way, you're spot on with talking about friends who call each other out. I thought it would be common among entrepreneurs, but you're basically the only one who does it. And then here we have someone who says, maybe I can zoom in a bit. Let me do this here. Here we have someone who said, hey, this connection was insane, bro. I was just talking with a billionaire. I said, I'm high-key jealous, definitely. I would also love to talk to a billionaire. And he said, I owe you, right? So here's just a few of countless WhatsApp chats that just prove everything I told you above. And if you trust me now, good, let's talk about Helix. Helix is a networking infrastructure which makes you achieve all of your goals and introduces you to guys who will become your bros for the rest of your life. And there's honestly only 2 objectives with the whole thing, which is number 1, it gets you where you want to be. Number 2 is you don't just meet, but you also become friends with like-minded people. Because as everyone says, your network is your net worth. And if you're surrounded with the right people, if you know the right guys, you can achieve everything, whatever you want to achieve. And I've experienced this firsthand. And therefore my full mission with this whole thing is bringing the right people together, connecting you with the right guys, putting you in the right infrastructure for you to really thrive, achieve your highest potential and really get where you want to be. And I think you need some context before I really go on explaining how we exactly do this. And there's many guys out there, also very successful guys in this online space, who say you should make money first, or people try to make money first, become a boss, do all of this stuff, get to the top 0.1%, and then they focus on networking and meeting other guys. And for me, this is stupid. Like in my opinion, for 2 reasons. Reason number 1, achieving all of your goals is much easier when you're surrounded with people who can help you with whatever you need and who hold you accountable. It is very simple. Imagine you have a question on your funnel, on your sales process, on anything like that, and you have no one to ask. And on the flip side, imagine you have questions on whatever, and you have countless different experts or guys who are ahead of you that you can ask. Obviously, it makes much more sense. It's going to be much easier for you to get to that high level because you can ask experts in your fields that you potentially don't even have to pay because they are friends and you know them. So this is reason number one, which is very important and super logical one. Whereas the other one is more like on the emotional side of things, which is climbing up to the top with your brothers that you struggled with from day one is much cooler and way more fulfilling than hanging out with people just because they can afford it as well, like just because they have money as well, and because they cloud and all of that stuff. And that's what happens in the majority of the cases in this online space. Yeah, people go to Dubai, people go here and there, whatever. And the only reason they really hang out together is because they have money and they can afford hanging out together. It's not like real friendships. And just imagine making it with the guys that you meet early on in your journey who have different expertises. That's like 10x more fulfilling, right? So I was struggling the first 2 years, honestly, of my journey because I had no one around me. And when I started meeting the right guys, my life changed completely in literally no time just because of this. And what happened, or what you should do, is you should just flip the script. No matter where you are, you should focus on meeting like-minded people first and surround yourself with killers, because then afterwards, everything else will get a lot easier. But now let's get into Helix. So how Helix looked back then. Here we have Helix as a head company, right? Like Helix on the top. And this was divided into different products. So number one is a community. So last year in August, September, after all like the cool people I met along the way, I said, hey, I'll put all of you guys in a group chat. Let's build like the coolest community in the market, right? So that's number one. We had a coaching program because I always loved coaching, loved helping people, and I wanted to educate guys on how to achieve your dream life by building a powerful network. And this would then be a lower ticket network for people who are more at the start, where they can again meet like-minded guys, hold each other accountable and all of that stuff. And after running it this way, I realized it makes no sense, because what happened now step by step is that people who joined the coaching program needed basic education first. Because I spent a lot of time repeating myself on the first 3 to 4 calls with people. And I realized it was just a huge waste of time, because I always say the same things, and I can just give people a video or recording of what I say so they can watch it, and then we can spend my time and their time much more efficiently, right? So it just made sense to combine the course and the coaching at least. And after that, everyone faced the same issues of, okay, we understand the importance of networking, we understand the importance of surrounding yourself with the right people. You probably understand it now as well. And the thing is, everyone then asked me the same question, which is, okay, I know all of this stuff, but where do I start now? And this is a very good question. And ironically, the solution for that I already built with the community, right? So you want to meet all of these cool guys, you want to build your network. And I accidentally, or like before that, already built the solution for this program with my problem with my own community. So instead of selling these three separately, it just made more sense for me to package these together as one huge infrastructure. So now you get the basic education on how to change your life by surrounding yourself with the right people, which is kind of the course, like the little program I built here. And this matters at no matter what level you're at, because it's basic principles that apply everywhere. Then you get access to a community of like-minded people, where you can apply all of this, where you can meet all of these guys and you can just do everything. And then you also get ongoing coaching and one-on-one strategy sessions on how to make the most out of the community, how we make sure you get your ROI. And this really made sense for you. So kind of again, instead of splitting these up, we just offer these as a huge package and then as an infrastructure now. So now the question is, what does it include and how is it different from other solutions? Because you might think, hey, there's other communities, there's other courses, there's other all of this in the market. How is this different to what other people do? And the thing is, there's nothing comparable in the market. Like there is not a single person that really spent as much time on thinking through like this whole concept of how we can make this the best, how we can do this like the most efficient way possible. Because most of the time you either buy a course and the community comes as a byproduct of the course, just as a value add. And this is dead most of the time because you mainly buy the course, you don't buy the community, and it's not designed for the community to be the main thing. This is number one. Number two, or like case number two that happens most of the time that I see in that space is you join a community started by a well-known person and the spotlight is not on the community itself anymore, The majority of people just join because they're fanboys and they want to meet that person. And also, most of the time, it's managed quite poorly, as the personal brand is strong enough to get the people in. And most of the time, like, they focus more on the marketing rather than improving the product. So I don't have a huge personal brand right now. So I just have to put all of my efforts into creating the best product possible. So even people who don't really know me see, okay, this shit is amazing, right? And the thing is, they started the community just for the sake of starting one, like not with an intentional objective behind it. And majority of you guys should know Sam Ovens. If you don't, he's kind of the godfather of this whole online space. And what he said in an interview recently I watched is, or roughly a year ago, he said, when you start a community, you need to ask yourself like two things. You need to answer two questions. Number one, who is this community for? And number two, what should these people get out of it? Two very important questions, and no one really asks themselves that. The only thing that many people who launch their own communities ask themselves is, how can I milk my audience and make the most money from this? Like, how do I leverage my audience? Okay, cool. We put everyone in a community and that's pretty much it, right? So that's one thing. Or the other thing that I didn't really include here is, oh yeah, we want to connect people. That's what people, like, that's why people start communities. And I'm like, no shit, really. Everyone wants to do that. Like, that's what communities are for, but that's just not enough. So when I started Helix, for me, it was people who have the same values and principles as me. Like, that's kind of the guys I wanted to have in there. And what that means is, like, guys who want to build genuine relationships and follow a provide value first approach. Because there's many people who just try to get as much information, get as much help as possible without really sharing. Whereas I always follow the provide value first approach. And this is also kind of the approach that the community is following as well. So what the people will get out of it then when they join us, they get all of their problems solved because everyone in there is just there for providing value and helping other people, because they know in the long term they will get all of this back, right? So I've just put my friends in there. People loved it, started building the community around this principle, and it went quite smoothly until I got very unhappy with myself and my performance, because this was not my main focus. It also was not the main focus of other people. And as like me as a leader, my performance and what I do within the community reflects on how everyone else perceives it and treats it as well. And as my events company back at the time was my biggest focus, I realized, okay, no one is really treating this the right way. And then what happened was I was tired of seeing myself not being in the spot where I want to be. Right? So you probably know this, no matter what level you're at. Doesn't matter if you make $100 per month or $100K per month. Like, oftentimes you're like, yeah, it's going like this, but ideally I want it to go like this, but you somehow don't manage to hit these goals, hit these objectives. And I was tired of like seeing myself not being where I want to be or where I have to be. But I was even more tired of seeing my friends not being where they want to be and where they have to be, right? The whole objective shifted to, I want to build an environment where everyone achieves their goals together. So this is the new main objective now. This changed. So who is this community now for, this whole program? It is for people who want to build an unstoppable army of peers that make sure everyone gets where they want to be. This is who this is for. And secondly, what people get out of it is brothers for life and a clear path and accountability towards getting to their dream state. Because as I mentioned earlier in this video, everything is easier if you're surrounded with the right people for two reasons. Number one, they can help you with whatever you need. And number two, accountability. It's very, very simple. So now we get to the most important part of this video, which is, what does Helix actually consist of? And there's 5 main different topics. We have the general community chat, the tribes, the info product, the value presentation, and the social calls. And what I could do is I could just explain them to you. But what I will do instead is I will show them to you, because that's what no one really does, right? Everyone is just great at telling how good their shit is, but no one really shows it. So what I'll do now is I will jump straight into the Telegram channel where you see all of these different chats, right? You see the general, Ask Helix, Introduction, Sanctuary, all of these different chats. You see the activity in there. Every day there's things going on. We have the Ask Helix chat where whatever you need, someone replies. What we just introduced recently is the challenges. So for example, we have the Rise challenge, where every day people send how much they work in there in terms of like competition. Okay, who crushes their goals, who works the most. And here we just have a few killers, right? So we see here 10 hours, 11 hours, 13 hours, 10 hours, stuff like that, right? So when you see this, you're just pushing and working harder and harder. On the other side, for example, we have this pull-up challenge where people who never really trained pull-ups are like, okay, fuck it, let's just do a pull-up challenge and see who improves the best, right? So we introduce all of these different challenges, like this YouTube challenge we literally started today as well. So that's kind of what the main chat consists of. It's many different chats, it's wins as well, guys just sharing what they're proud of, what they're achieving. This is the main pillar, number one, the general community chat with various different topics, challenges, and the main communication. Secondly, we have the most important part of the whole equation, which is the tribe groups. Tribe groups are in the community. You have subgroups of 5 people who are becoming like close friends and jump on weekly or bi-weekly calls. So these people are your day one guys. You're in a subgroup with them. Whatever you need, these are the first guys you're contacting, like you're talking with. And here we divide into accountability or mastermind. So at the onboarding, we see what is your biggest issue? What do you need the most help with? Is it either accountability, you just need to execute, and that's what you're going to talk with the other boys? Or is it like masterminding where you have to solve a few higher level problems as well? And again, this is the most important part of the whole community. And again, I will jump in and show you a few examples. So here, this is my tribe. And what we mainly do is we want to boost our productivity and like help each other achieve our goals in terms of always planning the next day, having exact action steps planned, all of that stuff. Here we say, okay, people just send their calendars in there with work blocks, all of that stuff. Here what I also do daily is I send gym pics because I want to go to the gym daily or like 5 times per week. It's just everyone sending their stuff in there and us holding each other accountable, make sure we plan our days, all of that stuff. And yeah, these people have weekly calls as well. Here we can just jump in a second tribe where we also post like gym. We just hopped off a call on this tribe, for example, as well. People share, okay, we're at the desk working, gym, working again, right? So just a group of boys who become friends because they jump on a weekly call. Every day they share their wins. Every day they share what they have to do. And it just works very, very well. This is like the biggest success within like this whole program. Then the info product, when we jump in here, we have like the short video course I created. It's honestly just like an hour and a half, 2 hours in video material, very condensed, very like short, but the most important information. So here we have networking one-on-one, where I just talk about the principles of how to network with people above you, organizing in-person meetings, turning connections into brotherhood-like relationships, becoming an asset, like many different topics that are being discussed. And this is the education people get like completely for free just for being there. And yeah, as I said, this is an educational course about how to make the most out of the whole thing and how to like meet other like-minded people and how to turn bros. And then we have the value presentations, which is also amazing. So we still follow a provide value first approach. And every person that joins has to create a presentation on a topic of their expertise and give it for free to the community. So if we hop on back here again and we go to the value presentations, we have many, many different presentations. For example, a week of content in 30 minutes with ChatGPT, how to 10x your business using Instagram marketing, 6-figure agency sales funnel, building powerful landing pages, and a 1-hour video on hypergrowth through email marketing. We have the same with systems, processes, sales, mindset, investing. Like we have many, many different videos out here. And what we do is like the more people join, obviously we will then have a bigger and bigger library of just a lot of knowledge, right? So this is insane as well. A lot of great videos in here. And then the 5th part, honestly, is social calls. So what we do here is 2 times per month, we just jump on a huge call where everyone can jump on. And this is not really business focused. None of that. It's just like the boys jumping on, meeting also other guys and making sure, hey, all of us, we talk together, don't just focus on business, and kind of meet more on this personal level as well. Now, what I would like to walk you through is the whole like step-by-step process. What happens once people join the Helix networking infrastructure, to understand why it's called infrastructure and not just a community or a course or a program or whatever, right? So when I'm on a closing call with people and we decide, okay, it makes sense to move forward for both parties, so for me and for the other guys, or like for the other person, then they go through an onboarding, and in this onboarding they just have to watch a few videos which shows exactly, okay, what is all of this about, what can they expect, and just like, again, setting some expectations. And also a form that they will have to submit in order for me to have a full-on information about everyone that's in the community, so we can build like a nice database of everyone who's in there. After that, we have an onboarding call where we go in depth into all of these topics, like the current situation, their business, their networks, their goals, the main bottlenecks, the dream outcome. So we have the information, all of this, and then we can make sure that we can help everyone based on what they're mostly struggling with currently, or what the goals are, what they want to achieve, and all of that. So based on that, we already come up with a list of action steps, which will point people in the right direction. Either if it's business-wise, if it's network-wise, it doesn't really matter. That's what this call is for. Then we have a better understanding of the goals and the current situation. And after that, people get access to the training material. And by training material, I mean the info product, or like the little video course I showed you guys earlier that I created on the topics of, again, how to win in communities, how to make sure to make the most out of this, and how to make sure you get a like 10x, 15, 20x ROI on this whole thing. And after people watch this short training, in a second one-on-one strategy call, we go over all the learnings from the training material they watch. We go over all the action steps people should have taken so far, and then go over all of these and see have they done it. And then now, okay, we now discuss how can you most efficiently leverage the community, and how can we most efficiently implement everything that was learned there. So then the Helix community onboarding follows. And there again, they have to submit a form regarding, okay, what do they want to get out of the community and all of that stuff. And afterwards they pick a tribe, like we pick a tribe together they want to be placed in. And this can totally depend again on either if it's more like the business focus, solving higher level problems, or if it's more, okay, you want accountability, you really want to level up in a certain area of your life and you know you need that. After that, you get access to the community. And after you got the access to the community, your introduction follows, and then you immediately get connected to 3 people inside of the community or even outside of the community, it doesn't really matter, that might be an interesting connection from the start for you, right? So you maybe know this when you join a community or a group or a course or whatever, and then you have this community aspect. There's 100, 200, 300, 400 people in there, and you don't really know where to start. You don't really know who is worthy connecting with based on your current situation. And therefore it's like just a guess, and then it's maybe a waste of time or maybe not. So therefore we help with this, or I help with this, where I just say, hey, these 2 guys, like, you should definitely speak to each other. After that, you get access to your tribe. Then you have the tribe kickoff session with your right goal setting. And after you went through talking to all of these people, being part of the community, getting access to your tribe, having the tribe kickoff, that's when you then have the 3rd strategy session and action steps again. And in this 3rd strategy session, everything we do is talk about the connections you've made so far. We talk about your tribe. We talk about the people in your tribe. And again, how you can make the most out of it so far, and how to make sure, again, come up with potential new action steps, implement these, and make sure you're really on it, on top of your game 100%. So as you can see so far, it's just a lot of one-on-one work as well. It's a lot of making sure that you do what you should be doing and that you really make the most out of this community, or like out of this whole infrastructure. After that, you're an active part of the community. You grow together. You have 2, 3, 4 tribe calls. Honestly, this depends on your growth. This depends on how much you're interacting with the other people. And after you're active part of the community for like 2 to 4 weeks, you've grown together with the other people, you really have made a few friends now. That's when you have the 4th strategy session. And in this one, after again implementing all the changes from the 3rd session, we have a final strategy session to track your results, see what you've accomplished so far, see where you're at after 1 month of being in, and ensure that the whole infrastructure that you're plugged in now, because you've met people that will just become friends, or maybe already became friends you've potentially met up with as well, and now this whole infrastructure is implemented. And also you understand why this is an infrastructure, not just a community, because it's again, you get the education from the start. How do I make the most out of this? How do communities actually work to its core? How do I make sure that I get it like 10, 15, 20, 30x ROI, right? So this is number one. Number two is, now that you know all of this, you get plugged into the system, into the community. You get access to all of these people. You get access to different ways that help you achieve your goals, either through tribes or the challenges or like the one-on-one connections. And besides that, you also have the one-on-one consulting / strategy sessions where we go over all of this, where we go over all of your progress, especially at the start, because that's where it's the most important, to make sure you have this rapid growth. And then this whole infrastructure is implemented because you have been educated now, you've had all of these strategy sessions, you now are part of the system, you're now part of the community, and this whole infrastructure is now implemented and you're part of the system. And this is why this whole thing is called Helix Networking Infrastructure, not just Helix Networking Community or anything like this. This is what I've been working on mostly. This is what I'm going to build continuously over the span of this year, next year, or like the next years, and what my attention, my focus is going towards to. As you've seen in the start, as you've seen on my Instagram as well, like we got a bunch of people in here already. We're 40 so far. And for me, this is again, like definitely quality over quantity here. I'm not just looking to try to grow this community super rapidly. No, I'm really trying to improve the product. And with a community, which is the biggest part of this whole infrastructure, the product is the people. So my main goal is to just have the best people in here who understand the values, who really love this, who want to meet like-minded guys, who want to grow together, who understand all of that. So as I said at the start of this video, no call to action. This is just me sharing what I'm currently doing. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you liked this video. If you have any questions, then obviously you can reach out to me. And other than that, thanks for watching. Thanks for staying here until the end. And I hope I see you in the next one. Bye bye.